Let's look at another matter. 2 Thessalonians, starting from verse 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, starting from verse 6. This is another matter that is judged in the church. That we shouldn't be tolerated in the church. He says, but we command you, brethren. We what? What is a command? Is it optional? It's not what? It's whether you like it or not. It happens in the church. We can command you. Oh, you didn't know. There are things that we will command you to do here in the church. Oh, you think it's liberty? Oh, no, Mandela. Doesn't work. This is a spiritual organization. We command you, brethren, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that you withdraw from every brother who walks disorderly and not according to the tradition which he received from us. You think the gospel is just inclusive. It's not inclusive. It wants to separate people, the wheat from the chaff. Disorderly. People who brings what? Disorder. I want you to see what Apostle Paul is referring as disorder. You're going to be excited. Let's go to the next verse. For you yourself know how you ought to follow us. For we were not disorderly amongst. We were not what? Amongst you. Even he himself is putting himself to that what? Standard. Let's go to the next verse. Not because we do not have authority, but to make ourselves an example of how you should follow us. So Pastor Tate, you are preaching to the choir. You also need to what? Walk in order. You shouldn't walk disorderly. Let's look at what he's referring to. Let's go to the next verse. For even when we were with you, we commanded you that if anyone will not work, neither shall he what? The church in Thessalonica was the church at the most laziest of people. Where someone is not being productive. He says this, move away from what? From such people. I thought the church is supposed to be having move away from brothers who are walking in out of order, who are usually looking for food, begging. They're not working. They will say, I'm doing church. But you say, I'm doing ministry. There are those that come. No, I stopped working. I'm doing ministry. No, you are out of order. You are out of order. Run away, sisters, from someone who says, I have a calling. I have a prophet. Okay, what do you do? Where do you work? Where do you get the income? How are you going to pay rent? Move away from those people. And if you have that mindset to say, I feel that I'm called, I need to stop school, I need to stop this, I have a calling. Pastor Tate said I have a calling and I love to do the things of God. I don't want to study anymore. You are out of order. Doesn't matter how God will speak to you, how many prophecies will come to you. Doesn't matter. I just don't feel the drive anymore. I think the Lord is leading me in another way. You are out of order. Move away from such. Move away from what? A man who does not eat must not, who does not work must not what? There is a place that Brother Max and his team do things of compassion. It's for kids and widows. These other ones, we are not involved. That's what Apostle Paul wrote. He says, remember the widows and the orphans only. The rest we don't. Not, you must work, including you students. You must work, find something, do tutoring, do something, work. Don't look down and say, I come from a poor background. Do something. We would rather work with someone who has been doing something, not someone who has not been doing something, who has a sense. He's trying to kill entitlement. He's trying to what? And self-pity. We come from poor backgrounds. No, you can do something. You can do something. You can go at Pick and Pay. I used to go to Pick and Pay and I would get that premix. You know that premix? I would go and follow the instructions and I would do scones. And then I'll sell them in the streets of Braamfontein. Do something. Don't say, I don't have. For even when we're with you, we commanded you that if anyone will not, you see, it's a command. Because there were a lot of beggars now, who were now coming to the what? To the church. Anyone who will not work, neither shall we what? Eat. Let's go to the next verse. For we hear that there are some who walk among you in a disorderly manner, not working at all. They are what? Busybodies. We are doing the Lord's work. We are doing the Lord's work. We are doing the Lord's work. Let's go to the next verse. It says, now those who are such, we command, exhort through our Lord Jesus that they work in quietness and eat their own. He is saying the moment you put yourself out to work, God will avail opportunities. The moment you put out yourself to work, God will do that. He's not even asking whether there are jobs or not. The moment you do it, let's go to the next verse. But as for you, brethren, don't grow weary in doing good. Let's go to the next verse. And if anyone does not obey your word in this epistle, not that person. It says what? Not. Write them what? In the black book. It says, I'm now doing ministry. You're not working. What are you doing? Find something to do. Find something to what? Yes. Find something to do. Do something. Start from somewhere. Start from somewhere. God blesses the works of your hands, not your imaginations. He says, if anyone does not obey your word in this epistle, not that person, do not keep company with him, that he may be what? I thought the church is not supposed to bring shame. Because it's a pressure group. It's a what? Because when that shame comes, it revives your conscience. You know, guys, everyone doesn't want to talk to me. No one is giving me the time. Because they are busybodies. They are now visiting in people's houses. And people want to eat. They also want to have their oxtail. You are in there. They want to enjoy. You are in there. There are people I've been seen in ministry. They'll be going, God has just been telling me, I need to come to your house, woman of God. We need to pray. God is showing me a vision. And when you know that you are targeting a meal. You are targeting, you are targeting a meal, a busybody. There are people who come exactly that time that you are about, Baba. Why didn't you come in the morning? You come exactly at that time when they are dishing now. The timing. If you're that timing in applying and finding jobs, man, that timing would do well. They are busy, but you see, that's what the church in Thessalonica was. They did not want to work. They just wanted to discuss doctrine. They just want to listen to sermons. They just want to go to the prayer mountain. Let's go to the next verse. You do not count him. You yet do not count him as an enemy, but admonish him as a brother. Let's go to the next verse. Now may the Lord of peace give you peace always in every way. The Lord be with you all. Apostle Paul says, you remember, he even says to them, he says, you remember when we were with you, we made sure we were not a burden unto you. And we were laboring, we were working very hard with our hands. He uses the term very hard. He was a tent maker. Imagine he had time to do ministry, he had time to write. Imagine look at the volume of work that he had to do. And he had time to work. Don't just say, I know I have a calling. Even me, I'm working. I can't just say because I'm a pastor now. I have to work. Even if the ministry can sustain me, I still have to work. You have to keep on producing. Capacity. He's just referring to capacity. So someone who does not work must not